We have won. You are finished, General of Lora.
How have I failed?
Stop! Please, you've already won!
No, not yet. We cannot stand before the people and declare victory while our enemy yet lives.
This is the reality of war, Queen Cordelia. Do me the honor of witnessing my final moments.
General!
Glenbrook demands justice. Step aside, Your Majesty.
Then I beg you, as Queen of Glenbrook, do not do this. Spare her, please. I cannot bear this cruelty.
As you wish. Let us end this war and spill no further blood in its name. But the names of our murdered kin still cry out for vengeance. For them, I will see her dead.
Wait! Is that... Roland, is that you?
The very same.
Roland Glenbrook. Back from the dead.
Let us settle this once and for all, Avlora.
What are you saying, Prince Roland?
There is no need for you to take such a risk.
No, but indulge me this one last time. Allow me to finish it on my terms.
Very well.
So you wish to duel me before the throne? Fine. I accept your challenge.
Not here. Come.
Is this a good idea? I don't...
This is where I defeated Maxwell. You have a penchant for poetic justice, I see.
I don't think this is a good idea.
Mock me for being sentimental if you wish. I care not.
Like, even if you win, there's no point.
No, Princeling. 'Tis not something I hold in contempt. But your sentimentality will not save you from the same fate as your master.
Uh-oh. That's the big attack. Nice.
Victory is mine.
Wow, okay.
You fight well. Well enough to protect her. To protect Cordelia in my stead.
I did not expect that.
General of Lora!
Roland casts off his mask and defeats Avlora in a duel, though her body falls into the Nozelia River and is lost. After a momentary withdrawal, the Hyzantian forces attack the Crown City again when word of General of Lora's demise reaches them. The Asfrosti army folds quickly without anyone to lead them. House Wolffort defeats the remaining guards and seizes control of the castle. They secure the Crown City just as dawn breaks, though the battle has not left the city or its people unscathed.
It is finished.
But the road ahead is long and arduous. Glenbrook's wounds run deep.
So deep it makes me wonder if the kingdom will ever recover.
We will make sure it does. There is nothing the combined might of the Glenbrook royal line and House Wolford cannot achieve.
Right you are. How glad I am to have you by my side, old friend.
I don't feel very good about that.
Overwhelmed by the forces of House Wolford, Esfrost's troops are scattered and driven from the Crown City. Glenbrook, at last, is free. Several days after this fateful battle, Queen Cordelia announces her intent to abdicate the throne and make way for another. Roland Glenbrook, his face no longer hidden from the world, will take his rightful place at the seat of power. With the prince's friends having only just finished grieving his death, and his enemies having only just finished toasting to it, this news shocks the foundations not only of Glenbrook, but of Nozelia itself. Prince Roland has proven his pedigree by storming the walls of Whiteholm and routing his enemies, delivering his sister to safety in the process. The prince becomes king and condemns the schemes of Gustadolf, making known Esfrost's plot to usurp the throne. However, the people's reaction to this news is not quite a chorus of approval. It is plain that the ravages of war and the shame of subjugation have left an indelible mark on the once prosperous nation. Although the battle for Glenbrook is behind them, Serenoa and the rest of the city's liberators must make ready for a struggle of an entirely different sort.
Congratulations on returning to your rightful throne, King Roland.
Returning.
Ah, you've returned. My friend, a word.
Yes,
I am honored to have had you by my side on this journey. To be able to call you friend.
as am I, Roland.
Your Majesty, representatives from Hyzant have arrived.
We shan't make undue demands of your time, King Roland. We've simply come to say farewell.
Without your aid, my people would still be under Esfrost's iron rule. Glenbrook owes you a debt of gratitude.
Consider the debt paid. The knowledge we gleaned of Elfric's capabilities was more than worth our troubles.
Indeed, it surpassed my every expectation. The Holy One is sure to be pleased with the results.
Your Majesty, can we trust you to lift the embargo and keep Esfrost subdued?
Of course. Lord Wolford has promised his full cooperation in that regard.
Your Majesty, lest you misunderstand your friend's position, allow me to make one matter abundantly clear. Minister Serenoa is of the Saintly Seven. He is not to serve at your whims, but by the grace of the Hierophant.
I understand, but he is also a Lord of Glenbrook.
Yeah.
More importantly, he is my friend. As such, I would ask for his assistance in the days ahead, as I have in days past.
Your Majesty, it is plain that the friendship between you two runs deep. However, the rules of politics are old and immutable.
And what does the Lord himself think of his new position?
Of course, I am grateful for the honor Hyzant has bestowed upon me. I will do all in my power to serve both the Hierophant and King Roland with all faithfulness.
In other words, the Hierophant does not have your full loyalty.
Well,
Glenbrook and Hyzant are to be two nations united in purpose. Surely it is reasonable that Lord Serenoa acts in service to both?
Yeah, what Benedict said.
Perhaps King Roland and the Hierophant should discuss my lord's role together.
You are right, of course. It is not our place to assume the goddess's intent.
Very well. I hope to meet with the Holy One as soon as my duties allow. I expect busy days ahead for you, Serenoa. Be prepared.
certainly, Your Majesty.
Milo shall stay in Glenbrook for the time being. If there is aught she can assist you with, consider her at your complete disposal.
She was pretty useful.
Remember, Milo, that you are the symbol of friendship between our two nations.
But of course, I live to serve, Minister.
And with that, we shall take our leave.
May we meet again soon.
They leave us with a spy. It seems we still haven't won their trust entirely.
Yeah.
Whatever secrets they uncover will only attest to our commitment to the friendship between us.
Still, their actions speak volumes. Their aid has not come without expectation of just recompense. Already they seek to make Lord Serenoa their puppet.
But we need Hyzant's aid to crush Esfrost.
By the same token, we cannot resist Hyzant without Esfrost's might. And once Esfrost is laid low, Glenbrook will have served its purpose. What then would stop Hyzant from tightening their grip?
Just as they did with the Rosal. The injustice I saw at the source is not something I'll soon forget. If you require proof of Hyzant's true nature, you need only remember.
I know. This country is my home. Built by my father and the kings before him. Safeguarded by my sister and generations of my forebears. I will rebuild it. Restore its glory and its pride. We will not be treated as dogs at the end of a leash.
For now, we must look within. Only after that work is done should we look without.
Oh, it's you.
May we speak for a moment?
Of course, brother. My apologies. I'm so happy you're alive. It's just, I believed you dead for so long.
I understand. But hiding from the world was the only way.
You needn't explain. I don't blame you in the least.
Thank you. About General Avlora.
Avlora, she was
a servant of Esfrost. Our enemy.
I know.
And you know there was no room for mercy. Not if we wanted to win back Glenbrook. Not if I wanted to rescue you from Esfrost's clutches. However, I thought you deserved to know. She did have parting words. She asked me to protect you in her stead. It seems she cared for you, in her own way.
She did. She was harsh, but always kind.
Yeah, she kind of was the nicest antagonist that we've had so far.
Our scouts are yet searching for her, but her wounds were grave. I fear when we find her, she will...
You okay?
Cordelia, what's wrong?
I'm fine. I simply need to rest.
Fine. I think not. I'll call a healer.
No. This whole time, I've refused to show even a moment of weakness. It seems my efforts have taken a toll.
You did well, sister. Now you may relinquish your burdens. I'm here, and I won't leave you again. But please, visit the infirmary. Some bed rest will surely set both of our minds at ease.
Thank you. I'm glad to see your trials haven't stripped you of your kindness. Welcome home, brother.
So, the Crown City has fallen. I see. And what of General Avlora?
She fell into the Norzelia River and has not been seen since.
And my siblings, Thalos and Erica?
They died, fighting bravely in battle. My condolences, Your Grace.
Yeah, everything has gone belly up for you in the past night.
I understand. I have fewer pieces on the board than ever now.
Pieces? Really is true what they say about him?
It seems I was wrong to think that Hyzant would remain idle. Or was my more grievous error to be taken in by the prince's false death? Regardless, I was a fool to show House Wolford any mercy.
Your Grace, reports from the battlefield tell of an unknown weapon being brought to bear against our forces.
Oh? Continue.
They say it sank one of our ships in a blast of purple.
Our iron, our pride, torn apart like sheets of parchment before a storm. We mustn't allow Hyzant to think they've won the upper hand. I intend to answer their weapon with one of my own.
Excuse me? Okay. I suppose it makes sense.
After retaking Whiteholm Castle, Roland assumes the throne. Joy over the return of the line of Glenbrook sweeps the kingdom. Yet not everyone is quick to welcome Roland back with open arms. Life under Esfrosti rule treated them well, and they suspect him to be naught but a figurehead of a puppet regime. Roland's absence, it seems, made room for discord among his subjects to flourish.
Chapter 15.
So that is what happened in my absence.
Yes. Gustadolf was a clever ruler. After the invasion, Patriot and his royalists cozied up to Espros in order to protect themselves. Gustadolf used them to his every advantage. He stripped them of their privileges and left them nothing but their governing responsibilities. I don't think Patriot much cared for that, but it did ensure everything continued smoothly, without interrupting the people's lives.
Now I understand why there was little unrest after the occupation began.
A clean, effective takeover by a well-seasoned commander.
but all the while he was preparing to face the next conflict.
Wait, does he intend to march on Hyzant next?
We'll have to get through us geographically.
I believe so. I wish I could be more specific. But the goddess's shield cannot protect the Holy State's capital from Esfrost. Not anymore. He said it will all be over once the Death Snell is ready.
Oh, right, that. I forgot about that completely.
What is this Death Snell?
A new weapon born from the coupling of his frosty ironworking and explosive projectiles. Valis claimed it is powerful enough to break through the goddess's shield.
To think Esfrost is capable of creating such a monstrosity.
So much for their reign of peace. Taking over Glenbrook was only the first move in a bigger gambit to seize the source.
I'm disturbed to learn of Gustadolf's plan. But rebuilding our capital must take priority.
Very well. We should investigate the extent of the damage and discuss how best to proceed from there. House Wolffort will lend whatever aid you need.
Thank you, Serenoa. But since you are one of their Saintly Seven now, I'd ask you to keep an eye on Hyzant as well.
You okay?
Cordelia? Apologies. A brief spell of dizziness.
I have been looking everywhere for you, Your Highness.
Patriat.
I do not recall giving you leave of the infirmary. Your injuries are still healing. Would you undo all the trouble I went through to get you the best of care? Pray, return to the infirmary at once.
It wouldn't do to push yourself, Cordelia. Rest now. Leave everything to me.
All right.
We got a pretty good understanding of the damage in the capital, my lord. It's a tad more than we were expecting.
I see. Then we must make haste with repairs. Let's report this to Hyzant and see what aid they can give us. Was there anything of note besides damage?
There ain't an easy way of putting this, but not everyone's exactly pleased to hear Prince Roland's returned.
I can kind of understand why.
Esfrost exempted Glenbrook's subjects from the salt tax. Likely a bid to get in everyone's good graces. And a damn good one at that. But more than that, the so-called freedom Gustadolf brought to the kingdom seems to have made a splash. He threw out the old ways and made it so anyone could better their lot in life depending on their ability, instead of their birthright.
Yeah, you did mention that way earlier.
Just as in Esfrost.
Then the people must have looked quite favorably upon Gustadolf's rule.
I wager folks ain't too pleased to see us, since they figure it means things will go back to how they used to be.
Roland surmised as much. We must do something to show the people his is a return worth celebrating.
Anna, have you looked into the state of affairs in the castle?
Yes. The head of the Royalists, Minister Patriat, is extending his influence. He made quite the name for himself, even under Gustadolf. Though he seems eager enough to support King Roland, he was just as eager to serve the Archduke.
Yeah, I'm not sure we can fully trust him.
I do not believe we can trust him.
He's just another Tellior.
Distinguished members of House Wolffort, how hard you are all working to rebuild our capital. What a delightful thing to see.
Minister, you do us a great honor visiting us out of all the many other responsibilities that must vie for your attention.
Oh, come now, do not think yourself so insignificant. The entire kingdom owes you its thanks, myself included, of course. We are so grateful for House Wolffort's aid, even though you now serve a different master.
We are only doing what any of King Roland's loyal vassals would.
Speaking of the king, I'm afraid we've a bit of a problem. His Majesty seems to be entertaining thoughts of retaliating against Esfrost. But the people have had their fill of war, and I'm sure you're already aware the people look upon the royal line with disfavor. I only beg you take every care going forward.
That's fair advice, I suppose, but we already knew that.
A warning.
Even so, there is naught we can do but focus on rebuilding.
Indeed. Let us return to the king and apprise him of our progress.
I would walk the city with Sheila a bit longer and speak with the people.
As you wish. But this is not the capital you knew. Be careful, my love.
Okay then. That was a lot. What do we have here? These two. Okay. Let's start with you.
Thank you for joining me in my training, Sir Flanagan. I've learned much from you. In truth, I'm grateful for any training at all. There are few of us Hawk Riders in Glenbrook.
Then let me thank you in turn for a chance to shake the rust from my bones. Seems my mount was keen to face such a worthy opponent as well.
'Twould seem they are hawks of a feather. Speaking of which, Sir Flanagan, I understand your regiment of riders was the Duchy's finest. Yet you chose to leave your homeland behind. Why?
That's a good question.
I grew to see how powerless I was. I once believed the freedom Gustadolf espoused would bring prosperity to Esfrost. So I fought, and fought, and fought for the cause until my shield was stained blood red.
Hence your title, yes. To think how many lives you must have saved.
Do not mock me. I saved no one. Pride swelled my breast with every mention of that cursed title. But in a year's time, what did I return home to find? My poor wife, wasting away in solitude in the throes of an accursed plague.
Your wife? Had word not reached you?
She mentioned in letters that she felt unwell, but never did I expect it to be so grave. In a matter of days, she was gone. Every moment I spent protecting the people, she drew one step closer to death. And I left her to die. Her blood, too, stains my shield.
Sir Flanagan,
Forgive me. I did not mean to burden you with my woes. But you see now, my title is a curse.
It is a tragedy, yes. But I cannot bring myself to believe you cursed. And you mustn't believe so either.
Hope this one's a little nicer. This isn't the first Sheila one we've had, is it?
It's become late. We'd best keep an eye out for bandits.
She's shown up in other ones at least, I know that.
You have a warrior's intuition. You needn't worry. I won't let us come to harm.
It takes no great intuition to see that this world is falling ever deeper into chaos. The reasons, however, remain elusive. Will we see our way safely through this darkness? I cannot say.
We have naught but our duty, and mine is to Prince Roland, whatever might become of House Wolford.
I find your perspective refreshing. Although it may be direct, you walk the path you've chosen with confidence. On the other hand, I often feel that I'm fumbling. I had thought Gustadov to be a man of reason, but now I see that he will not hesitate to employ deceit to achieve his goals. In a manner of speaking, he and I are not so different. I, too, once hoped to have the influence to change the nation. At least, I told myself so. Really, all I wanted was to be free, and Frederica was simply a means to that end. As long as I had what I wanted, I had no great concern for what became of her.
Jila,
But this war has caused me to reconsider that. I realize that Frederica herself is worth caring for.
Do we know how long Jila was taking care of Frederica before the start of the game? Because I had assumed it was for a while by then, but based off what she says, it always seems like it was like right before the start of the game.
She's not the sheltered princess I took her to be. Her wits are a match even for Benedict. She surprised me and shamed me. I was wrong to underestimate her, to define her by her birth and station. She represents my greatest failures as a teacher, but also my greatest success. For she has truly taken my lessons to heart. I see now there is no shame in serving another, and no shame in sacrificing my freedom for something greater. Oh, but perhaps I've shared overmuch. For some reason, I find it easy to talk with you.
the feeling is mutual. You are not so aloof as I thought.
I just had a thought. When the war is behind us, I may very well open my own school.
Really?
Of course, you would be welcome to join me. I would be master of the classroom, and you could be master of the training yard. We could teach our students the art of hawksmanship. Our riders would be first class.
They were talking about how there's basically none of them now, right?
What should our school be named? You will come and teach with me, won't you?
Not half so aloof as I thought.
Alright, that one was nice. Let's see. Oh, neat. Didn't even realize there was an achievement for that. I think we should see this one first.